Hello guys, my name is Khan, and in today's video we will discuss that how you can use color marks in Tableau and what does it mean by color marks in Tableau. So for this video I will be using this data set, which is again US Census data set. This is a bit different data set. I have added few variables in this data set, so I will quickly go through this data set first. Again, this is a hypothetical data, have nothing to do with reality, and I have constructed this data for this set of videos. So in this data I have just one country, USA. Each row is representing a unique state of USA. So you can see each row is containing the information for a given state, and then I have some others. Then I am dividing the data into 4 regions of USA, and then I have some demographic variables like population, urban, death, marriage, divorce. Here there are 2 variables that I have added, which you will not be able to see in my previous video. In this data set, I have a variable status, which is representing that the state is poor, rich, or self-sufficient, as you can see it here. And then I have a date variable, which is just representing when this data is collected. As you can see, we have collected this data from 1st December 2018 till 19th January 2019. Again, this is a hypothetical data. I have nothing to do with reality. I have made this data so that I am able to use these variables in my videos. So the first thing I will do, I will go to my Tableau. This is the shortcut for my Tableau. I will open it up. As I mentioned before, that Tableau works in 3 steps. First, you need to import the data, and then you create your visualization. And in the third steps, you share your visuals with the audience. So first, I will go to my Microsoft Excel. This is my data set that I have shown you guys. Open it up. Everything got imported successfully. Before going further, I would like to tell that country, state, and state 2 are having this globe sign. It's meaning that these variables can be used in a map. And here the ABC is representing that this variable is a categorical variable, which we can use as a dimension. Then the number sign variables are all numeric variables that we can use. And here again, status have a considered a categorical variable, or you can call it as a dimension. And then we have a date variable, which is there is a calendar sign, and it will be considered as is a form of numeric variable, but it's a date variable. Now we'll go to sheet 1. So under the sheet 1, as you can see, we can create a graph. But here, if you look at the marks, we have different marks available in Tableau, and we will go through one by one each mark. So in this video I will mainly focusing on color marks. So let's see, if I draw a bar graph, this is my region variable, and then I have population. If I go to show me, and show me as a bar, I want to see a bit inverted, so I will come here. There is an inverted sign. You can swap the rows and columns, and now it looks good. But let's see, if I want to see that, can I also get an idea of status? So suppose if I add the status is a categorical variable, and if I add the status into color. So once I add it, you can see that under the north central, we have mostly self-sufficient population. And then we have rich population here. But here, if you look at the south, you can see that there is a good portion of people are rich. Again, this is a hypothetical data, nothing to do with reality. I have just created for this thing for my video. So in this way, you can use this color option to get more information from your graphs while using it in the bar chart. So currently I have given you an example in which I have used the categorical variable over the color, or as a color for my bar graph. So if I move it out, and let's see if I use some numeric variables. So suppose if I also want some information or some idea that how much divorces are happening in these regions. So if I add that graph, a variable into that color, and now the color are representing that highest, if you look at this brightest color, have the most divorce divorces. So we can say the south. In south we have the most divorces, and then the most light color, which is here, you can see we have least divorces. And this range of this color card can also is representing that how colors are moving, and if it's brighter, it means that this divorces are high in that region. So this is one of the example in which you can use these color marks. I will give, so before going further, I will just rename it as bar. So in this I have given you a example in which I use the color mark over the bar chart. I will initiate a new sheet. So in my sheet 2, I will give you another example related to how you can use the color marks in a map. So as you can see that I have a country, state, all are demographical variables. So suppose if I first mention Tableau that I want to draw a point based on a country level, then I further want to divide it at a state level, and you can see all the data points that I have in my data are got plotted here. And then in order to make it a bit more interesting, I can put, so now the size of these marks are representing that how much population in each state have. So if the size is bigger, it means the population is bigger in that state. So let's see if I add now the status variable, which is telling that is it a poor state, self-sufficient state, or a rich state. So let's see if I do it here, how to do. So here you can see that I have a legend here which is saying if it's blue, it means that it's poor state, and if it's this color, it's rich. So sorry, self-sufficient, and it's kind of this color, it's rich state. Again, this is a hypothetical data. So here you can see that you can also use the color marks in a map too. And now I will instead of status, let's add a numeric variable as a color in a map. Let's see will it allow us or not. So let's say if I want to see how the deaths occurring in those states. So here you can see the brighter color it's dark blue, it means the more deaths are happening in that state. As you can see, the maximum number we have in California, which is 186,428, and you can also see that the maximum bright color we can reach this, and that number will represent this much of deaths. So in this example, in both bar and dashboard, I have shown that how you can add both categorical or numeric variable as a color marks. Again, before going further, I will rename it as map. So we just discussed that how you can add color marks in map, and now I will go to another sheet. So this is my sheet 3. In this sheet, I will be using line graphs. So in order for the line graph, what I will do, I will be using date, and I will be using population. And I will be using as line graph. So here instead of yearly, I will be using as exact date, so that I will to show this thing. Again, I will make it exact date, not yearly. So now you can see that it's showing us that how population is, how much population numbers we collected over these dates. But suppose now you also want to add more information in this chart based on this color mark. Let's say if I add this status variable, and you can see that we have collected firstly the poor states data related to the population, then we have collected self-sufficient states data, and then we have collected rich states data. Based on this legend, you can see the colors information. But here in this, when I added the color, luckily that there is no overlap between these colors. But suppose if I move this out and if I put the region, so I also want to see that how these number varies by region. So if I add here, so you can see that we have 4 regions, and we can see that the population numbers vary over the day by these 4 categories in this way. The graph don't looks very good here, but I'm just giving you an example that how you can play around with the marks, color marks in Tableau. And let's see if I here in both of my example for the line graph I have used a categorical variable. Let's see if I able to use a numeric variable for a line chart. So let's see if I want to see how can I able to use that variable as a color mark. And you can see here we can have that if it's a P, if the line color is brighter, it means that the depth number are higher, and where the line is light blue, it means the depth number are lower. Again, it's a kind of a hypothetical example I'm giving so that you're able to play around with according to your need and according to your data. And now, before moving further and before going my last example, I will rename it as line, that you can also, that in this example I have shown that how you can use the color marks over the line chart. And now I will be using my sheet 4. So in the sheet 4 I will create a table. So let's see if I want to create a table of region, population. So here you can see that this table is representing me that how much population we have in different region, and we can see here is the sum of population presented. So suppose if you want to see if you want to add color marks in this table, let's say if I add status here to my color marks here, if I make it a bit bigger, so you can see that when I added color marks into when I added the status as a color mark in Tableau, you can see that in this table I can see different categories for poor, rich, and sufficient states, and how the numbers are there, and it's telling me the sum of population for each status. In the same way, suppose if I don't want to if I move out status from color, and if I want to use numeric variables, so suppose if I want to see depth here, add as a color mark, you can see that now it's telling me the brighter, it means that the depths are higher in that region. So here I have given different examples through different charts in which you can use color marks in Tableau. And in my later videos, we will discuss the other marks which like size, text, details, tooltip, other marks that you can also use in Tableau. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching the video.